morning. So it is 10:30 on Saturday morning. I have no idea what date it is at this point, but it's past the 20th. I don't even know. Maybe the 22nd? Who knows? So at least I know what day of the week it is. That's the main thing. So I have a 4-day weekend because it is a bank holiday Monday in the UK. I think it maybe is in the US as well. And also my employer has been kind enough to give us all Tuesday off as well as a thank you for adapting to working at home, so which is very, very nice. So I have a lovely extended weekend, and I've only been back at work for a week because I had a whole week of annual leave the week before. Feels like I've been back for fucking years. It's been a really stressful week, so I was so glad to finish work last night. We were supposed to be doing a sort of catch-up drinks gaming session on Zoom with my best friend and her partner at 8 o'clock, and I was just, work was too stressful. I had to work a bit late and I felt like I was in a real mood, and it wasn't the best attitude to go into a catch-up with my friends with, so I've asked if we could postpone, and we postponed until Monday night, so that should be really nice. So hopefully I'll be in a better mood and more relaxed. So yeah, I've barely read anything all week because I'm bored of talking about it. My elbow's still playing up and it's got a lot worse this week because of being back at the desk. So today we have to order me a computer chair because I just can't do this any longer, and I think this is obviously it's both things. When I work at the desk it makes it really bad, when I read it makes it really bad, and obviously one of those I can definitely fix, and that's getting a better chair. And then reading, I've barely read anything this week. I've read about 40 pages because I've tried to be really sensible. And when I read, I'm sort of leaning the book and then only using this arm, just sort of leaning a weight against the left hand side of the book to keep it open. So I don't know how much reading I'm going to get done this weekend, but there are a couple of books I'd like to try and get through because obviously I'm trying to do the Asian Readathon and I've barely managed to read any because I have them nearly all in physical format. But I have gone through Scribd and I think a couple of them are on there, so I'm just going to try and audiobook loads this weekend and find, if it just gets to the point where I do just lie on the sofa listening to an audiobook, then that's going to have to be fine. Johnny's putting the washing up away, you can probably hear all the clanging. So that is my plan, and just going to basically try and just keep this arm straight the whole freaking time. It is sunny here today, but it is cooler than it's been the last few days. It's about 18 degrees Celsius, I think, and it's very blustery, which I like. I'll probably pop out just for a short walk today, but nothing big. I want to do a couple of videos. We started a Jigsaw last weekend, which we've only done the edges. I'll show you that later. Maybe we'll play board games, do some videos, just various things. And we watched the first John Wick last night. I am still doing the film challenge, but I've been slightly diverted by just watching some shit easy stuff as well. So yeah, watched John Wick last night. I mean, it is ridiculous, but it was also, for a ridiculous action film, a fairly good one. So I'm probably going to be obsessed and watch the next one tonight, to be honest. So yeah, and also I bought myself some stuff from Lucy and Yak for my birthday. I've never bought anything from Lucy and Yak before. I've always been, intrigued by getting some of their dungarees. And I've always been drawn to the plain dark colours because that is what I always wear, plain and dark things. But I decided to be brave, and so I got these, I don't know how well, it's like a print, and and I just tried them on because they only arrived yesterday and I didn't get the chance yesterday with my awful work day. And I've decided to keep them. I'm still feeling a little bit like they're a bit loud for me, but I think I can do it. I think I can be that person. I would like to be that person, so I'm going to keep them. And I'm just wearing them around the house for the day today to try and sort of soften them a little bit because they're that sort of printed material where they just feel a bit stiff, which I assume will go away a little bit once I've worn them in and washed them a couple of times. So yeah, at the moment we have some cinnamon swirls. They're by a company called Just Roll. I don't know if they're just a British thing, perhaps, in the oven. And they're vegan, which is very nice. And I have an iced mocha here, which I didn't make, I just bought it in a bottle, and it's an almond milk one. So, living my best life, to be honest. Book-wise, what I have been reading is The Other Bennett Sister by, can't remember her name. So, starts with J. Can't remember. I've been reading that and I'm really liking it, but I've just not had the chance to read, and I don't think I'm going to get through that very much this weekend because it's really big and it's not doing my arm any favours. So, may put that one on the back burner. I have got it on audio, so maybe I'll switch to audio. And yeah, I will catch up with you guys later when I've decided what to start reading. Hey guys, it's just gone 1 o'clock and I'm in my lovely, in brackets, rank kitchen. And what have I done since I last checked in with you? Had the cinnamon swirls, delicious. Had all three, very greedy, but oh well. And then I watched quite a lot of booktube, and then I checked in with some of my bookish friends on Voxer because I've been a bit rubbish with that this past work week. And yeah, I just walked to the shops because I needed to pick up a few bits for the next week's worth of food. And yeah, I think we're fully stocked, so I shouldn't have to do anything like that for a while, which is always nice. And I decided to start a new audiobook, and I had 3 that I was choosing between, and 2 of them I owned in physical form and 1 of them I didn't, and it was actually recommended by a subscriber. So on my last, I think it was my April wrap up part 2, where I spoke about 2 books by, well, one was by an Asian Canadian woman and one was by an Asian American woman, both non-fiction books. I had a subscriber called Amy kindly mention a book called Psygon by Phuc Tran, which is on Script. She let me know it was available on Script as an audiobook. And so I thought, I think I'm going to give that one a go because I feel like I really love memoir and audio. And within like 30 seconds of listening, I was like, yes, I'm hooked. So I just had such a lovely time just walking to the shops and back, and now I'm going to do some washing up and then probably have my lunch and just sit and listen to the audiobook. And this is the sort of audiobook I need, because when I enjoy one as much as this, it does make me want to just sit there and listen to it. So very happy to have found that one, and I will let you know once I've listened to a bit more what it's about. Hey guys, so I finished doing the tidying up in the kitchen, and I thought I would have a little look into what other books that were on my Asian Readathon TBR are available on Script. So Sign wasn't originally on my TBR, so I thought I'd check for the others. So I already knew that Bury What We Cannot Take by Kirsten Chen was available on there, although I just had a little listen to the first 30 seconds of the audio, and I'm not 100% sure about the narrator's voice. I'm quite picky, so 30 seconds probably wasn't very fair, so I will give that another shot, I think. And then I just had a little look, and The Border of Paradise by Esme Maison Wang is also on there, and I think it's got 5 or 6 different narrators. I guess this is multiple perspective, which I didn't realise. So I think this could be a really good one, and I flicked through and listened to some of the different perspectives. And what I love about fiction in audio is when the narrators are from a place different to where I'm from, even if that is different parts of the UK, for example. I think the accents add a lot, and I think these characters are from different parts of the world, so they're going to have lots of different accents. I think that could be really cool to listen to on audio. And then I had a little look, and these 2, which are also on my TBR, are not available on Script in audio or written format. So I'm going to try and read this one. This is in sort of vignette styles. I think this will be quite a quick read, so I'm going to try and sort of just read little sections of this throughout the next few days. This one I don't know if I'll get to, because I just don't want to do too much physical reading, and I feel like maybe just doing this one will maybe be enough. And if I do go for a second, then my preference would be for it to be this one, because I really want to get to this one. So there's that. But then when I was on The Border of Paradise, I just skimmed down, as I always do, to see what other books are recommended if you like that one. And The Body Papers by Grace Taliesin was on there. It's one I would not have expected to be on there. It's sort of independently published. It's not a super well-known book, but it's on there, and I had a listen, and she narrates it herself, which I love, so I'm definitely going to listen to that one. Although this book does include scanned copies of artefacts from her life and photos, so I'll hold this in physical and just glance through it to look at those. And then the other book I want to read, which isn't to do with the Asian Readathon, is Silver Sparrow by Tayari Jones. I recently bought this for myself with some birthday money, and Simon and I wanted to do a buddy read, and I knew Simon had this one and really wanted to read it as well. So I would really like to read this in physical if I can, but I listened to An American Marriage by Tayari Jones on audio and I loved it. And so I just had a little listen, and I really like the narrator for this one too. So this is one on Script as well that I could listen to. And then the only other one, which obviously I'm not going to look for on Script, is Grass by Kim Suk Gendry Kim. I've probably said that really wrong, so I apologise. This is a graphic novel that I bought myself, or graphic memoir perhaps? I'll have to double check, that I bought myself for my birthday. So this is one that I'm going to have to put it down because it's at my arm, sort of leave lying out on the table and flick through, and not have to sort of physically hold. So that is my plan for the next few days, and I will check in with you as I pick different books up on audio or in physical form. Hey guys, so I know this is an awkward angle, but I just cannot be bothered to make my arms ache by holding the phone up, and I don't have a selfie stick. So it's about 5 o'clock. I just spent way too long an hour and a half trying to film a book haul. Now, book hauls are normally quite easy videos to film. I don't know what was going on. I was having one of those days where it just wasn't working for me. I was tripping over my words. I feel like it's going to be quite heavily edited, which, like, I don't mind. As a viewer, I enjoy people who don't edit at all, and I also enjoy people who edit a lot. Like, it doesn't really matter to me. I think both styles of videos are enjoyable for different reasons. But I don't tend to edit a lot because I'm lazy and I don't plan my videos in any way, and I'm usually okay with not feeling like I need to cut loads out. But yeah, I'm going to need to do lots of edits. And in part, that's because I wanted to make sure I was pronouncing some of these authors' names right. And so I was watching clips with them being interviewed where they were saying their own name to make sure I got it right. And if I do that before the video, then inevitably I'm going to then get some wrong because they're not fresh enough in my mind. And I'm sure I did still get some wrong, frustratingly. But yeah, so that's part of it. And I don't know, I hold a lot of non-fiction books, and I find memoirs more difficult to talk about in book hauls because it's not a novel where someone's made something up, and it's not a non-fiction book about a topic. It's a memoir, right? So it's talking about someone's life. And a lot of the time, the memoirs I reach for are about really serious moments in people's lives. And so the fear of misrepresenting someone's story is very heightened in my mind. And so I think the combination of being worried about how to say people's names and being worried that I was going to misrepresent people just made it all a bit anxious. So I'll have a look at it later, and if it comes across as I'm in a stress, it will get deleted. But hopefully it doesn't, because I managed to keep the stress the moments that won't go in, but we shall see. And I don't want that to put anyone off starting the channel if they haven't started one and they've been thinking about it, because obviously, you know, I've been doing this for a lot of years now and I love it, and you know, it's probably the longest I've ever stuck with a hobby other than reading, so I obviously really enjoy it. But I also think it's good to be honest about the fact that sometimes it is stressful and it is difficult, and sometimes, you know, you need to edit a video because you haven't uploaded a video in 2 weeks and you just don't want to sit at the computer anymore when you work an office job and sit at one all the time, and you just can't be asked, but you know you need to do the video. So yeah, people who have a schedule and do 3 videos a week, I don't know if, as a viewer, like, and I don't mean this harshly in any way, I think if I hadn't had a channel and had always been a viewer, then I don't think I'd realise how much time and effort goes into doing it. And for that reason, I think people who consistently upload 2 or 3 videos a week on a schedule are absolutely phenomenal. You know, when you have a full-time job, or you have children, or you're studying, and you manage to do this as well, and you manage to do it consistently, just phenomenal. I've never managed that, you know. I upload a lot when I'm on annual leave, and then I don't upload for a couple of weeks because I'm just not very good at being consistent, but some people are amazing, so I don't really know, I'm rambling, but anyway, so the video didn't go well, but hopefully it's salvageable, fingers crossed. So I'm going to go down and have a cup of tea, try and, like, I don't know, calm myself down a bit and hope that goes well. But I did just want to say that I listened to the first few chapters of Sigh Gone. I want to make sure I say that right. It's a play on words, obviously, of Saigon, but it is Sigh Gone, which I really like. I'm a few hours into it. I think it's around 10 hours, and I'm loving it. So it opens with the author when he's a teenager, and he lives in, I think, Pennsylvania. He came over from Vietnam to the US when he was 1. His parents brought him over, and his grandparents as well. They all came together. And they came over during the fall of Saigon and moved into this apartment together. And it starts when he's a teenager, and he's talking about the fact that he's picked on at school for being from Vietnam, and he decides to try and be as American as he possibly can, so to hide his Vietnamese ways, I guess. He wants to bury that as deeply as he can. And as an adult, you can tell that he now doesn't respect himself for having done this, but he understands why as a child he felt that was his best option. So he decides to become like a punk rocker, and he goes really extremely that way in the hope that he'll then be picked on for being a punk rocker rather than for being Vietnamese. And there's a point where he says that when I'm picked on for being Vietnamese, I'm picked on alone, and when I'm picked on for being a punk rocker, I'm picked on as part of a group because we're all together, and there's this solidarity, and I thought that was really interesting. And then he goes back to the moment where his parents fled Saigon and brought him. So the point I'm at now, he's about 5 years old, and it is fascinating. There's a whole chapter on the language barrier, on his father trying to teach himself to speak sort of unaccented American English, and it's brilliant on audio. I feel like I don't know because I haven't read it in physical form, but there's bits of it that I'm like, I don't think this would come across as well in physical form, because in audio he does an impression of his father's Vietnamese American, and then he does himself talking back to his father being like, no, this is how you say it, and him repeating the words back, and his father struggling to make those American sounds. And then there's sections where his father's trying to teach him Vietnamese and he's struggling to make those sounds with his mouth, and he explains how the two languages use really different mouth movements, and it's just something that people who speak English, American English, can't do. And some of the sounds he made with his mouth, I was trying to do it and I was like, I literally can't do it. I'm sure I could be trained. I'm sure we all could, both ways, but it takes a lot, because when you're raised to speak a certain way, your mouth just doesn't naturally move in those ways. And I find that sort of thing fascinating, and I think it would come across in physical form, but it comes across really well in audio. So I'm loving it. It's really funny, it's really heartwarming, it's really sad, really interesting. It's really, really good. So yeah, I'm going to go have a break, have a cup of tea, probably do a bit of Jigsaw and listen to some more of the book later. So it's now, I think 9 o'clock, and we've just finished this Jigsaw. How amazing is this? This is the best Jigsaw I've ever done. It is inspirational women from around the world. And we did the edge last weekend, and then we did the whole inside today. It's 1,000 pieces. Absolutely bloody loved it. And as you can see, it has little descriptions for each person. So that's Harriet Tubman as an example. And it's just brilliant. And we did half the colours each. So I did that section and Johnny did this section. So yeah, but we're going to leave out for a few days and have a little read and just, revel in it, how amazing it is, and then start another one, I think. So I love a Jigsaw. Hey guys, it's now 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, and I thought I would check in with you because I started listening to Silver Sparrow by Tayari Jones last night. Simon and I had a little look, and it's around 340 pages. I hope it is in his edition as well. He's got a slightly different edition, but anyway. So we're going to try and read about 80 pages each day across the 4-day weekend we both have. So I managed to listen to about 50 pages last night before I was just too sleepy. And then I listened to the other 30 pages this morning, and I just sent him a message to check in. I'm really enjoying it. I don't think I said what it was about in the vlog clip yesterday, so I'll just quickly mention that here. It is about two sisters. Their father is a bigamist, so he married one of the sisters' mothers, and then he married another woman and had his daughter Dana, who we're hearing the story from, and then a few months later the second daughter was born. So Dana is the secret daughter, and she knows about the public family, but the public family do not know about the secret family. And I assume these girls are going to meet, and I think the narrative is going to shift and we're going to start hearing from the other sister's perspective. It's really interesting. It's a great buddy read, just like An American Marriage, in that there's lots of plot stuff you can try and figure out, but also there's lots of character, like when characters are doing things, like for example, Dana's mother married a man she knew was already married. She knows he has a public family and she's committing adultery. He also is doing something, awful, more awful than Dana's mother is really. But yet they both come across as nice people, right? So it's that line between actions that may not be publicly perceived as the sort of actions a decent person would do, but yet they do come across as decent people. So I'm finding it really fascinating. It's really fascinating to see how knowing that she's this secret daughter affects Dana's outlook on men, relationships, and just moving through the world. So I'm really enjoying that. And I will try and listen to another 80 pages today so I can check in later today. I'm also going to try and listen to another chunk of Psygon today because I'm loving it. And then, I don't know, I might try and start something else. I had a really shit morning, I'm going to be honest with you guys. So I woke up quite a lot throughout the night because my arm was really bad. I tried to wrap a towel around it to keep it straight. Didn't work. Every time I woke up, my arm was bent. Got up this morning and it was hurting immediately. And it's given me like really bad headaches, I guess, like neuralgia, like when your nerves are messed up, you get, bad headaches. And yeah, it's just like, usually it doesn't get painful until I've been moving for about half an hour, but it was like immediate. So I was like, fuck my life. And it's just, you know, it's at the point now where if I try and lift anything with my left arm or do anything with it, it's really horrendous. So just had a little bit of a cry. Johnny asked if I was okay. I just broke down. And it feels really pathetic because on the one hand, I'm like, there's all these awful things going on in the world. There's people who are, you know, having to work in hospitals, and there's people who, you know, have the virus and it's really awful. But on the other hand, like in terms of, you know, relative to my own life, I'm in pain constantly and I'm not used to being in this level of pain, and so it feels horrible. So yeah, I spoke to the doctor about it the other day and he wasn't really that interested. So I think I'm going to have to call the doctors back and ask to speak to a physiotherapist about it, because I just feel like I work at a desk every day and it's making it really bad, and I can't take time off work because we're so busy because of what's happening. I work in medical research, I support medical research, and it's crazy right now. So I cannot let my team down and take time off, but I feel like that's what I need to do. I don't know why I just moved my arm. It's really keep your arm still. So I've ordered a splint so I keep my arm still. This one isn't nowhere near as bad, so I can still move this slightly. I've ordered a splint to keep it straight. We've ordered a computer chair in the hope that having a proper chair to sit at the desk will help. And yeah, and I'm just trying to keep it still. So I'm literally going to spend today lying straight with my arms like this, listening to audiobooks or watching films and TV. I think that's all I can really do. I loved doing the jigsaw yesterday, but I think it probably didn't help because obviously there was lots of bending to reach over to look for jigsaw pieces and stuff. So I'm not going to let myself do that again today, because we have another jigsaw by the same company. It's a donut one. It's like 50 donuts and it looks brilliant. But I think I'm going to have to accept that I have to hold off on the donut jigsaw. So yeah, gonna get Johnny to make me some lunch now. Might have like falafel and salad wraps with sweet chili sauce and some hummus, and chili heat wave Doritos because healthy. And then maybe I think I might go chill down in the lounge with a little blanket. It's quite chilly here today, quite windy. And yeah, that is my plan. And maybe watching BookTube. I think I'll probably do that. I might put it on the big screen actually. Exciting, what an exciting life. I did just want to say, I got this t-shirt new. It's from a company called, can you see the name? I need to sit up more. Ooh. They're called Nudity. I found them on Instagram, but they have an Etsy store. And their brand is all about like celebrating nudity in all different body types, sizes, shapes, colours. And I love their stuff. I think their artwork's brilliant, and they have lots of different bodies, like lots of different ones you can get. You can get different colour t-shirts, different colour ink, and I got this one because I'm not brave enough to get one where there's just completely bats out, although there are some like that and they're brilliant as well, and there's also some of men, all different types. And I really love it and I'm so happy, and the quality's amazing. So I'm going to link their Instagram and Etsy down below because you should definitely go and check them out. And I think I'll order more of their stuff. She also sometimes does a collaboration with, and I can't remember who, but she does collaboration sometimes where you can buy one of her t-shirts with her print on, but she sent it to another artist who does embroidery, and they've embroidered all really cool leaves and flowers round her print, which are also brilliant. I don't think she's got any of those at the moment, but I'm definitely going to keep an eye out to try and get one of those when she does some more, which I'm sure won't be during all this stuff going on, but maybe in the future. So definitely worth checking out. They're a really cool brand, and she just released prints. She actually sent me one for free with this t-shirt, which is so exciting and just so kind. So yeah, the prints are really cool too, so go and check them out. So it's just gone 4 o'clock and I'm giving in. I sat and watched YouTube while sat and watched YouTube while I ate my lunch, and then I've just been lying on my bed, very well behaved with my arm still, listening to Psygon. I'm now 40% of the way through, so I listened to it on like 1.8 times speed, so I sat and listened for just over an hour but got through like 2 hours worth. And now I know I should be keeping still, but I just can't lie like this all the time. And it's so like makes me think, because I get that there's people who have conditions that means that that's what they have to do all the time. And it just makes you realise how fucking hard it must be and how difficult that must be. And I guess the longer I do it, the more I'll get used to it. But I feel like I'm going to have to maybe build up more gradually to that in the hope that it gets better. So I'm going to clean the bathroom, but I'm going to try my hardest to not use my left arm. And then I'm going to go for a walk and listen to some more Silver Sparrow, because I just feel like I need to move a little bit. And obviously when I first spoke to the doctor, they said that like going for walks and to get the rest of your body moving, like your spine and your neck, is good for if you've got problems with your arm. So I'm allowed to do that. So that's the plan. I just wanted to say though, one of the reasons I feel the need to clean my bathroom, because I don't keep my house all that clean, is because I have my shower doesn't work. We moved in here in October, and we paid someone who was a bit so dodgy. Didn't realise they were dodgy, but they ended up being a bit dodgy because we needed our bathroom done really quickly before we moved in, because we didn't want anyone doing building work when we moved in straight away, because we knew the cats were going to be really scared by moving. So we designed our whole life around our cats, which is what we tend to do. Anyway, he bodged it up a little bit. One of the things he bodged up was that we paid like £250 for this shower, and it's never worked. It just runs freezing cold. And I find that, I don't know if this is an experience of everyone, like tradespeople just don't fucking answer. And I'm not very good at pushing people, so that's probably it. So yeah, we just never had it fixed. We've just been having baths for 6 months straight, which has been fine because it's been cold, but obviously it's starting to get warm now, so it is a bit tiresome. But just as I started to be like, I'm going to sort my fucking life out and get this fixed for the warmer weather, everything happened. So now, obviously, nobody can come around my house. Fair enough. So anyway, long story short, in order to try and make baths a bit more exciting, I treated myself to loads of Lush stuff. One of the things I treated myself to, I'm going to lower you down because I was going to pick it up, but obviously I'm avoiding that, is, can you see this? It's this bad boy. It's like a cola bottle. How well can you see that? It's a cola bottle. That is not a soap dish, but I don't have any soap dishes. It's a cola bottle, and it's a bubble bath. So what you use it for is it supposedly can be used for 6 to 8 baths, the website says, and it is cinnamon and lime scented, which I love. Great scent combo. There's a plane flying overhead, apologies. But it stains my bath black. Now, I'm not saying like my bath is fully black, but there's black smudges everywhere, and I don't know whether I bought a bath that has like marks really easily, or whether I just use a lot more Lush stuff than the average person does. But it's fucking irritating because like I want to use it, but at the same time I don't want to use it because I don't really want to have to clean my bath after every fucking bath. So that's my little update. I'm sure that's fascinating for you. I'm still loving Sign, really interesting. The most recent chapter was talking about how he views himself. Like for example, he was talking about how it's really common for American war veterans to stop them to talk to them about the Vietnam War in supermarkets and stuff, and how awkward that is, and the representation of Asian people in films, and how he kept using the term Oriental until his cousins were like, why the fuck are you saying that? Like, say Asian or Vietnamese, like don't say Oriental. So it's all really interesting, really well written. Yeah, just I'm absolutely loving it. So I'm really glad I'm listening to that one, and I'm very excited to listen to some more. So yeah, that is the plan. I think I'll listen to some more of Silver Sparrow now, and then, I don't know, I can't decide, but I'll let you guys know what I decided later. Hey guys, so I'm back and I have a little friend with me. I probably shouldn't be doing that, but you know, sometimes it's worth it. He doesn't really like being picked up, but he'll put up with me for a while, and he's just too gentle to try to get away, really. So say hello. No? You don't like being held? There you go. That was Albus, by the way. He's now very interested in my phone. He's become aware that he can watch screens recently. He's right beside the camera, trying to look out the window. And so when we have our phones out and we're watching a video or something on the computer or even the TV, he just will get up there and like whack it, like properly hit it when things move. So he may now do that to my face as I talk, but let's hope not. So cleaned the bathroom, went for my walk, really enjoyed it, was really glad to get out. Sometimes, I don't know if you all, I thought he was going to jump then. Sometimes, I don't know if you guys feel like this, I feel like too lazy to do something, and then once I've done it, I'm so glad I have. So really thankful that I made myself go and have the walk. I walked for about an hour and it started to feel quite muggy, and I was worried I was going to get rained on, but it hasn't, and it's still really blue skies out there. So I managed to listen to the next chunk of Silver Sparrow, the next 80 pages, and it's now going to flip to the other sister. I'm still really enjoying it, and I feel like it's such a readable book. I could just carry on and listen to loads more today, which I won't do because obviously Simon and I have sort of said we'll try 80 pages a day, so I don't want to skip ahead. I had a little look on Scribd just to double check the books that were available that I'd spoken about yesterday, and I noticed that the Body Papers by Grace Talazan is no longer available. So this is one thing about Scribd, you know, I have a Scribd and an Audible account. Audible, you guys probably know, it's really well known. You pay, I don't even know how much I pay, like £8 maybe, but you only get 1 credit, so you only get 1 book for that. And I pay the equivalent, the same amount, I'm not quite sure because it's in dollars on Scribd, but it's a very similar price. And it's unlimited. Now, I've heard some people say that if you listen to like loads of audiobooks, it does tell you you've listened to too many, but I mean, I'd never listen to like more than 6 a month, and it would always let me listen to that many. And I had heard people say that Scribd work differently to Audible in that they have limited licenses for each book. So if too many people listen to it in a time period, then it's currently unavailable. So the Body Papers was available yesterday, and I went on there today and it's no longer available, and it's not available until the 3rd of June, which is a bit frustrating because it's one of the ones I really wanted to read, and when I saw it was on there narrated by the author, I was like, yes, excellent. But I don't really want to delay because I want to take in the photos and the articles that are printed in the book, and I'm not sure when our libraries are going to reopen, and obviously they might recall that book, which is fair enough. And also I just really want to read it, so that may be when I end up having to try to read in physical format throughout the week, but we shall see. So I'm now sitting and watching some YouTube videos. I thought I'd come through here. I'm watching them in the front room, but Johnny's on the computer, so I didn't want you guys to hear all the clicking and stuff like that. But I am just watching some BookTube, and I thought I would mention a couple of new channels I've recently subscribed to. I'm a complete BookTube whore, right? I am subscribed to hundreds of channels, and I cannot get enough BookTube. I'm one of those people who like checks my subscriptions every half an hour when I'm off work, just hoping there's new videos. So I absolutely love like end of months or weekends when loads of videos come up. I'm addicted to it. And so I love the fact that a lot of people are starting new channels at the moment. I think it's because people are at home and people have been thinking about it, have finally been like, you know, I've got all the time now, like now's as good a time as any. And I'm very grateful because I'm just loving finding new people to watch. So I found quite a few new channels, but I thought I'd just mention 2 here. One is Jessica's channel. So I have been a follower of Jessica on Instagram for years now, and she's been a subscriber for years and commented on my videos. She has really great book recommendations, so I've always really trusted her opinion. And so it's really great to see that she started a channel. It's called Jessica's Reading Ruminations. I will link it in the cards and down below. Definitely go and check it out. She is participating in the Asian Readathon, so she did a wrap up a few days ago and she read loads of books in the first couple of weeks of May. Are we in May? We are, aren't we? I was going to say June. And quite a few of those were for the Asian Readathon, so I thought it was great, and there were so many books that I was really interested in and went to look into after watching that video. So definitely go and give her some support and watch her videos and comment and all those things. The other person who I think's been doing it for a little bit longer is Kaylee. Kaylee's channel is called Kaylee's Reading Corner, and she uploads weekly wrap-ups. She reads a few books a week, and I watched her most recent video where she spoke about one of the Hunger Games books, I think. She also spoke about, I think, Pachinko, Writers and Lovers by Lily King, which is a new release I really want to get hold of, and Becoming by Michelle Obama. And the reason I remember all the books she spoke about is because her videos are really, she gives really detailed and thoughtful reviews. You can tell when she's reading the book, she's very aware of, you know, her thoughts and what she wants to say about them in the videos, which is something I always really admire, because I know it's not easy to, you know, to come across like that in videos. She comes across as very thoughtful and well spoken, so I definitely recommend checking those videos out. And again, she's been participating in the Asian Readathon. She did a TBR, and she's been working her way through those books in her weekly wrap-ups. So both excellent channels, both reading really great books, have some really great recommendations, some books that you may not have heard of, so it's always worth checking out those channels. So yeah, I'm gonna go and chill for a bit and watch some BookTube, and then I was gonna make like something we haven't had before, which is a sweet potato and bean stew, which looks really nice, but I feel like it was a bad idea to buy the ingredients for that when it's really warm at the moment. And so I've decided to have hot dogs and corn on the cob instead, which is not healthy and also quite lazy, but oh well. So it's now 10 o'clock and I'm sitting in front of my sort of messy open wardrobe. I hope that's okay. And I thought I would do the last check-in for this reading vlog. I've checked and it's already like around 40 minutes long, so I don't want you guys to watch like an hour and a half video because that would be awful. So I'm going to do the second half following the next of my 2 days off on this long weekend over on my Patreon. I try and do a reading vlog every month over there, and if you're interested in that, I always link it down below so you can go and have a look at the tier options. So for this reading vlog, I've been talking lots about Silver Sparrow, which I'm now halfway through, and Psygon, which I'm also now halfway through. And I also picked up earlier, after I checked in with you, March Book 1 by John Lewis. I'm going to put it down. It is the first in a sort of memoir trilogy by John Lewis. He is helped writing it by Andrew Aiden, and it is illustrated by Nate Powell. I remembered all the names. And it is about his involvement in the civil rights movement, and it starts in like the 1950s and is interspersed with scenes from 2009. And I really enjoyed it. I have read a few books recently sort of following the history of the civil rights movement, but more like broad brushstrokes, so following African Americans throughout their time, from like being brought over to the US in slave ships all the way up into emancipation and following that. So the civil rights movement have like been a chunk in a larger scale book. So I think this is really interesting because there were some names I hadn't come across before. And something I guess I'm figuring out more and more is like, because the US has all these different states, there was stuff going on all over, and there's all these different names and all these different people who were doing different things at the same time, sometimes the same thing at the same time, but separately without knowing about one another. So there's lots of different interesting people to know about, and so this offered, you know, further insight into some of those people, and I hope will give me the push to look into some of them more and maybe find other books about this time period. So if you have any recommendations for more focused books on the civil rights movement in the US, I'd be really interested in that, because like I said, I've read much broader histories that look at like a couple of 100 years rather than any focused ones, and I'd be really interested in that. And yeah, that is what has happened. I had dinner, we watched the second John Wick film, and it was absolutely appalling. I watched the first one a few days ago because I saw someone randomly mention it, and we just thought, why the hell not? And you know, for an action film, it was actually all right. In general, I think action films aren't great, are they? But yeah, this one was bad. Like, it didn't make any sense, any of his motivations. He'd be like, he'd agreed to kill somebody even though he didn't want to, and then when he killed that person, 2 more people would want to kill him, and then every time he killed somebody, that would multiply by like at least another 2. So I just would be thinking, well, if you just hadn't agreed to kill the first person, there'd only be 1 person who wanted to kill you rather than like 100. But I don't think John Wick really thinks these things through. So yeah, I guess he doesn't need to when he just is completely unkillable. There's probably a better word for it than that, but basically the guy could not be killed. So I watched that, and I've just uploaded my video. I forgot to say I edited it yesterday, and it actually was nowhere near as bad as I thought. I think once I've edited it, you couldn't tell that I was getting really stressed, so that was fine. So I edited last night, but I was just too tired to upload it because I mentioned quite a lot of links, and I wanted to make sure I didn't forget any. So I've just sat and done all that and uploaded it, and now I'm gonna get in bed. Shan and Bert have just uploaded a vlog, so I'm going to watch that. I love watching their vlogs when they upload them on Sundays. And then I might start another audiobook. Crazy. I've never listened to 2 audiobooks at once, so listening to 3 at once seems extreme. But I feel like I'd like another novel on the go, because I don't want to speed through Silver Sparrow because I'm buddy reading it, obviously. So I think I might pick another novel. So I probably will pick one of the ones I mentioned for the Asian readathon. Maybe the Esme Asian Wang one. I think that might be the one I reach for, but we shall see. So thanks ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I know I'm not, it's just clips of me sitting here and telling you what I've been doing. I don't really show you any of it. And that's half laziness. I'd say more laziness than anything. And laziness in that, like, in the moment, I'm too lazy to set the camera up, but also I know that it's going to cause me way more work in editing, and that's more what the issue is really, because I'm not a very confident editor. And also I admire people who do things like that, with the vlogging themselves doing things, but it feels so, I don't even know what the word is, like when you vlog yourself, like getting up in the morning and opening your blind, or like, I don't know, getting ready for the day. it feels a bit like staged because I've had to purposely be like, right, I'm not going to open my blind until the camera's on. So I just find it all a bit socially awkward, guys. So yeah, I might get better at it, I might not, and it might just be that this is the sort of vlog you always get from me. I hope it's okay, I hope you enjoy it. I understand the vlogs where people put montages in are way better and more interesting to watch, but I'm not that good. So yeah, thank you ever so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.